Hello, 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 hello. Wherever you happen to be located on this vivacious planet called Earth, I hope you are having a sensational day, evening, or night, wherever you're located. My topic for today is to talk about combining your mesh. In Blender, there are at least 3 ways of combining your mesh, and I'm going to list them right now. The first way, I'm going to call it combining mesh. There are 3 ways. Way number 1, you can join an object. Way number 2, you can use a Boolean. And the last method that I know of, I could be wrong. So if I'm wrong, somebody, please let me know another way of combining your mesh. The last method I know about is using the parenting method. So today we're going to take a little journey. We're going to see the advantages and disadvantages of using those different types of way of combining your mesh. So let's start right now. Alright, my first method I'm going to choose, I should keep it on annotate. My first way I'm going to use is I'm going to join my mesh. Number 1, I'm going to join it. Let's see what happens when we join it. But before I even do that, I want to go to edit mode and let's take a look at the mesh geometry. Well, let me go back to object mode. Let me highlight both of them. So we're going to look at both of them at the same time to save some time. I'll go to edit mode. See, look at the geometry or the quad count. And you know, at least in Blender that I know of, quads are everything. I heard that you can use triangle for like game characters, whatever. But for the most part, quads are your friend. If your quads look ugly and messed up, and if you're using an armature, errors will ensue. So the main thing in Blender is visually, how does a quads look? And we see right here, the quads look consistent, concentric with each other. No ugly, distorted quads. So let's go back to object mode and let's try my the join method. So number 1, we will join. Number 1. Let's see what happened when we use join. Alright. And I'm not going to do anything fancy with them. I am going to do something fancy. I'm going to rotate this one a little bit down. Then I'm going to join it. Okay, that's a good join right there. I'm going to join it. And if you don't know to use join, you just hit the J key, I believe. I haven't used it in such a long time. I'm going to hit, well, you have to select both your objects. I have my object 1 selected, the green thing, and then the yellow one. You have to hit Control J. So to join, you basically, I might put it right here. Control, I have to get back into annotate. Control, then you hit J. Then your object should be joined. So let's see that. Click this. Control J. Let me move it to see if it's really working. I hit the G key, or you can hit the move selection. I choose that. I'm gonna move it up, F. Okay, it's joined. Now let's go to the all important edit mode and see how this look. I'm in edit mode. I want to hit RA. I should have used a more diverse shape. Alright, but I want to do this first. Now, when you're in edit mode, to see if it's really joined nicely, it's best to click on the add select tool with my mouse at add select. Let's see how it look. Okay, so for this shape, it's still coming. I see. Let me zoom in some more. So the line is still consistent. Okay, that looks consistent. I should have chosen a more diverse shape. Because I know what I want to do. I'm gonna add some more meshes to this box right here. Let me add some more subdivides to it. Subdivide it some more. And let's see how it look. I'm gonna give it 5 subdivisions. Each side, give it 5 subdivisions. Okay. Oh, see, nothing happened on the side. I'm gonna try it again. Subdivide. I'm gonna do it 5 times. 1. Nothing. See? Let me subdivide this side. Alright, so we see one thing with the join already. So far it seemed to be lessening my ability to subdivide my figure even more. I'm gonna highlight everything. I'm gonna hit subdivide again. I'm gonna subdivide everything. Okay, and you see the mesh is becoming more dense. The parts that can be changed are okay. It's dense, but those are the sides. Here it is, right here. The side right here. I'll call this side right here. The side right here. There is no change. No change whatsoever. Let me keep going around my figure. So we see I've subdivided. And I'm going to do it one more time. Let's look at this middle part right here where my mouse at. Hit A. Click the right mouse button. Subdivide. Okay, so my computer probably can't handle it now. So that's one thing. My computer locked up. I guess I have an old i7. So that's a negative right there. Let me do it. I'm going to try one more time. I shouldn't try because it may lock up again. Yes, it's locking up. So we see already how the join of the meshes already affected my computer. I can't subdivide it anymore because it does look dense. It looks very dense. I cannot subdivide this anymore. So we have to patiently wait until the computer enable me to go back into that mode. So that's a negative right there with the join. It changed the chemistry of a face. The chemistry is I could not subdivide the sides. So that may be a knock on it. So if you wanted to animate those sides, or if you had an armature and the sides that's locking up, it probably could not move. You couldn't add no edges. You couldn't add no vertical edges. You couldn't add no horizontal meshes. And when you add the horizontal edge and a vertical edge, then you create those vertices. So my computer locked up. I hope it don't take too long. So we gotta wait and see. Okay, it's taking longer now. It was faster the other time. Let me hit the escape key and see what happened. Alright. I'm going to give it about 30 more seconds. But we see a major negative. We see a major negative already with the join. Alright, still stuck. Oh, good. Finally, let me go. Woo! I'm out. Let me go to here. Let me go to my... Let me delete these. So I have to hurry up because my computer is slowing down. I better hurry up and delete this stuff. It's too dense. Too dense. Yeah. So let me go back to a fresh screen. Alright, getting back to a fresh screen. So we saw number 1. How the join tool, we saw when we joined it, hitting Control J, we saw what happened. My sides could not be subdivided anymore, and when I added more polygons, my screen got froze. That's the join. Now I'm going to go to number 2. My next one, I want to try the Boolean. This is number 1. Let's see what the Boolean does. So let's see. I'm going to hit, go back to my select box. I'm going to click on the tube looking thing, because you have to give a Boolean to at least one of your objects. Let me see what this is called. Okay, let me just click on this. Let me give it an add modifier. Choose find Boolean. There's my Boolean. It's on difference now, but remember I want to join them. I want to join my objects together, so I have to choose union. I'm going to select my object. Okay. Wait. Let me make sure that's it. Yep. How many weights does it got? Let me move this. Okay. It don't matter. Alright, now I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna put it inside. Move it on the X. Just put it inside and let's see what happens. Click on my cylinder. I clicked on the weight. I'm gonna choose apply. Let's go to edit mode. Let's take a look at it now. Let's see how it looks. Well, I'm gonna try some. I'm gonna see if it's really if it's a union. Grab. Oops, I guess I don't want to choose union. What did I do? 1, 2. I'm gonna do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Click on this. Man. Oh, this back. I click back on this. I chose union. I don't want to do intersect, so I guess the best one is union. Because unions can combine two meshes into an additive way. If it don't combine it, that must mean something is wrong with the with Blender. I hit this. Oh, I don't even have to hit shit. I'm sorry, I don't even have to I only need to select one, my major shape. I'm gonna choose apply. I'm gonna grab this and see what happened. Okay, why is it doing that? Okay, so I guess that's an error in Blender. So we see one more thing. If it's Blender doing this error, that's another thing. So I don't even need to say no more. The Boolean, it may give you some errors because I did everything right. If you depend on a modifier, it may not work. So I'm gonna say it again. If you depend on a modifier, it may or may not work. Because I'm over here to the Boolean modifier. I'm on union. I'm gonna choose. Wait, I'm gonna go ahead and apply. Let's see what happens if I hit apply. Grab. Alright, see, it's still giving me that error. So I cannot control that. So we see right now. If you use a modifier, I don't know. It may work and it may not work. Let me just see how it look in edit mode. Because when I did it on my other computers, it worked. Let me see how these all these. It's in edit mode. What? It's probably on the wrong shape. Let me click on this. Let me put that in edit mode. Let me grab. I know what I'm gonna go back to object mode. I'm just gonna move the weight out the way. G X. Like I said, I cannot help it because that look like this. Like is an intersection right here. That's an intersection. There was no difference, so I guess it was an error in the Boolean modifier. I can't help that. But regardless, let's go back and see how I look in edit mode. Oops, I chose my wrong shape. Click on this the wire thing. Click on this. Go to edit. Okay. So the geometry still looks nice here. Let me click on my face select. See if we got. But right here, you see right here, that's it. That's what we don't want. It's a triangle. Remember, we don't want no triangles. Most thing in blenders you want a quad. Especially if you're using them armature. So that's a negative right there. There's a triangle there. Here's another triangle. I'm gonna zoom in. We don't want, so you see what the Boolean may do. Even if the intersection was working, it still would have given us those triangles, because I did it earlier. So we see we got a number of triangles. It's some quads, but we got some triangles. So that was with the Boolean. Let me open up another fresh file. Open recent, scene 2. And we see how much havoc the joining caused when I had to subdivide those two simple shapes. It's not a complete human. It's two simple shapes. The join slowed down my computer. Now this is the last method. The last one is parent. We're going to see what does parent do. To use parent, you have to hit Control P. If you are on an Intel based computer, I don't know what it's like on a Macintosh, because I don't have a Macintosh. So I choose my select. Now I'm gonna leave it. I'm just gonna put it right inside like I did. Right here. Is it inside? Yes, it's in. Well, I'm gonna move it over to my left. Grab on the Y. Move it over to my left. I want to move it some more on the X too. I want to all of it be in there. That's on my X. So like it's completely meshed with it. Now, I want to make my parent to be the yellow structure. So I click on my green one, the weight, and I want the parent to be the yellow structure. So you must select the parent last. Child first, parent last. Click that. That's the parent. And now I just hit Control P. I want to write it again. For some reason it disappeared off the screen. Parent. Select child first. Number 1. You select the child, because that's why it's called the parent. The number 2, you select the parent. Oh, then you choose the parent. And then you have to hit Control on a window on, I'm sorry, I guess say Windows, but I'm not using Windows. On an Intel computer, you have to hit Control P. And then you select object. So let's do that right now. I select my child, the green weight, then I choose my parent, the yellow tube structure. I hit Control P. It's saying object, and I'm not choosing nothing fancy. Keep it a simple parenting. I did that. Now, here's the good thing about the parent compared to the others. When I move the parent, the child move. When I click on the child is still independent. I don't know if you can see it, but the child and the parent are connected by a black dotted line. It's a black dotted line connecting them. Alright, let me go back to object. I'm in edit mode. And let's see if I can work on my my face, my surfaces, or my mesh. I'm gonna click on face select. Now let's see. I'm gonna click on this face, this face, this face, this face, this face, and let me see if I can and a bottom face. So it's some slight differences here too. But that could have been there. I don't know. I didn't check in detail. Let me see if I can subdivide it. Yup, it's still working. So we see what's happening with parenting. Parenting, my objects still remain there. They still retain their uniqueness. And I'm in edit mode too. I'm in edit mode. Let me see. Oh, so at least on the default edit mode, I only selected my green weight, so I only can work on that. Let me choose object. Let me choose my yellow structure. Go back to edit mode. Let's see if I'm gonna hit A. Let's see if I can subdivide this again. Right button click. So it's still subdivided. So I can still subdivide it. Now now if I move it, because it's in edit mode, so it's different now. Let me see what happens if I go back to object mode. Okay, so if I move the parent in edit mode, it's moved. If I move the parent in object mode, you see, it is. See, I never even realized that. I never did it before. If you move the parent in edit mode, it's unique. It's still a separate entity. If you move in the object mode, the child will still follow. That's new to me. I never thought about that before, but now I did. If you enjoyed this video about at least the 3 ways of joining an object, a Boolean, the join method, and the parenting method, if you got any information from this, you can give me a thumbs up. If you got any comments, or there's a 4th way to join the meshes, please let me know to edify me, to educate me even better. But if you can comment on anything that you find interesting or uninteresting about this little presentation. If you would like to subscribe to hear me talk about future occurrences that I happen to have in Blender, let me know. Until the next time, Blender family, Blender nation, peace.